just want to say a big thank you to you for, making the time for this session as well. I'd love to get your thoughts on a few things which I think will be very inspirational to the youth. I thought I'll give you a little bit of a backdrop. So over a
Please
period
do.
of time, the young people, and we have several young people from around the world, have been involved in initiative which has been focused on mobilizing young people in different parts of the world to take action on ecosystem solutions. And these are green solutions, blue solutions, looking at, the range, the gamut of ecosystem problems and challenges, and how youth can be engaged in devising solutions and then implementing solutions. And so this session has been designed by them, and we'll discuss these issues in particular. So I was wondering, Erik, if I could ask your opinion on what you think might be most relevant as far as action led by youth on ecosystem issues. But before that, I thought I'll ask you what you see as the most pressing ecosystem challenges that we face today.
I think the most pressing ecosystem issue is very simple. We are losing nature. Mother Earth is so beautiful. Everyone should think of the nature in your country or in your home place. You will always remember amazing beauty. And we are using species, we are using trees, we are using nature, and these must stop. And basically, we know how to stop it.
Yes, thank you. Yes, absolutely. I really appreciate that. And I think that that's one of the key driving forces. A lot of the youth are seeing issues relevant to the ecosystem in a state of severe destruction and depletion and desecration. I was wondering, Erik,
I can go, sure, give more examples if you wish. Yeah.
Please, yeah, sure.
The destruction of nature, because it's most visible when it comes to the species we care the most for. In my country, Norway, the polar bear is severely threatened up in the north. Why is that? Because of climate change. Polar bear can only live in ice. If there is no ice, there is no polar bear, because you cannot hunt seals anywhere but in the ice. But if you take this around the globe, in Africa, you have seen a huge decline in the number of elephants and many other species because of people doing poaching or because of the loss of habitat. In India, you also see positive developments because the number of tigers is slowly going up. There's been a huge decrease in tiger population over 100 years, but now the tide is turning. Nepal, as the first nation in the world, has doubled the number of tigers. In India, it's also increasing, and adding is increasing in Bangladesh, in Russia, in China. So we see a way out of this crisis. So while it's a severe crisis for nature, there's also enormous opportunities to get it right if you just start acting.
Absolutely, yes, that's so true. And I think that, you hit the nail on the head, because a lot of the young people we've been working with have been literally, this is exactly what they've been describing, because in all of these different geographies, we're seeing tremendous depletion of natural resources, wildlife, biodiversity, and it's affecting the climate, habitats for all species, as well as, of course, access to resources. And I think that's been one of the major driving forces in propelling this conversation. And I really appreciate the examples that you flagged, because we're seeing this, across so many different countries. And of course, with the polar bears, we know, even with the extent of marine destruction, their food and everything has been affected. So survival is very difficult given so many different things. But thank you. I was wondering also.
I can give you a couple of other examples, and
Sure.
you can use them, or you can just not use them if you don't want.
No, I do. Thank you.
A shining example as to what you need to do, in my view, is Rwanda, a small African nation, very poor, through the worst genocide in human history. but now the number of gorillas is rapidly increasing in Rwanda. Why is that? Because they have found a way to mobilize the local people for the gorillas. They created an economy where people pay a lot to see the gorillas, and that money is used to create jobs for taxi drivers, hotel waiters, tourist guides, so many other people. So if you go there and try to kill a gorilla, I tell you, all the people will kill you. They will attack you, because that's the life and bread comes from the gorilla. And I think this is really what you need to do, because you cannot work against the people living in the hotspots. You must work with them. Another brilliant example is a company called April. It's the biggest paper and pulp company in the world. They have made a huge conservation area in the Indonesian island of Sumatra, where they conserve 1 square meter of rainforest for every square meter of rainforest which have been used for plantations. And the areas protected by the private companies like April is much better protected than areas protected by the government, simply because they have the fire brigade to put out any fire, that the helicopters to patrol it if anything goes wrong. They have all the means and the economy to protect these in a beautiful, fantastic way. So we need to mobilize people, and we need to mobilize business.
Wow, that's fantastic. And I love those examples. I think you've already sort of initiated the whole discussion about solutions. And I would love to hear, as we mobilize citizens and we mobilize businesses, do you foresee a role for youth among those citizens in particular as being pivotal in influencing change? Is that your perspective?
I think this is the question I most often get from young people. Does it matter what I do? Can I really change the world? And my answer is the same always. Yes, who else? No one else will change the world for you. You must start, and others will follow. And the biggest movement in human history happened exactly like that. But just point to one. In the 1950s, black people in America could not go to the same restaurants, the same schools, they could not sit in the same buses as white people. They were discriminated in every single way. Some of them went to India to be inspired by Mahatma Gandhiji, in the non-violent struggle. And then they picked up the struggle. They were very, very young. They were teenagers. The old ones were in the early 20s. And the really, really, really old man, Martin Luther King, was in his late 20s. Martin Luther King was killed when he was 38. And people saw him as an old, really, really old man. And they changed America and the world forever. While there's still problems with racism, we'll never ever come back to the evil situation in America in the 50s and 60s with this complete racial segregation and discrimination. It was young people who picked the fight. But turn to the situation today, I'm really inspired with what I see in India, where there are so many inspiring examples of young people. I just read about the 7-year-old Pradesh Singh from Tamil Nadu. 7 years old, has planted 13,000 trees. That's amazing.
Yeah, those are really
Are
stunning
you there?
examples.
Oh, sorry, you
Sorry.
disappeared, so I was not sure.
No, no, yeah.
I mean, 13,000 trees when you are 7 years old, it's amazing, and it's inspiring others. 14-year-old in Tamil Nadu, Vinisha Umashankar, she has invented an alternative, a solar alternative to heating by charcoal. Again, hugely inventive, very young. Move on to the state of Maharashtra, where Afra Shah, a young lawyer, started the greatest beach cleanup in human history. He just one day was so tired of the pollution, the enormous plastic on the beach, and he went down and started pulling plastic and cleaning up the beach. And then there were two, then there were hundreds, then there were thousands. At the end, there were hundreds of thousands of people, no exaggeration at all, cleaning beaches in Mumbai and Maharashtra, inspired the initiative of this one man. So never, ever underestimate the power of you taking the lead and doing something.
Wow. That's really inspirational. Thank you. Fantastic. I just wanted to say that, as we will witness during the session when we'll have this opportunity to present this beautiful video you've so kindly offered to share with us, would there be any specific pointer that you want to give young people as they get out and start to, take action inspired by your voice to implement solutions, both blue and green, for the ecosystem? Is there any final message you'd like to share? Thank you.
If you want to take action for Mother Earth, you should tap into your own inner feeling for nature. Look to what you consider the most beautiful, amazing place, maybe in the place where you grow up, or in your neighborhood today, or some place you have visited in your country or somewhere else. Look into what you consider the most amazing, sacred nature, and mobilize your inner feeling for that. And then you will have any number of strengths to go out and find the solutions to the problems.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. This has been absolutely incredible. I really appreciate
So
it.
you can pick some of these, what you need and what you don't need, you just throw into the dustbin.
No. We love what you said. It's absolutely beautiful. And I love the examples and the message. I think that this is really something for young people to now more than ever really listen to and be inspired by. In fact, we'd like very much to share this video on more than one occasion, but certainly during this session. And I look forward to keeping you posted, because we're expecting a lot of young people from different parts of the world. There'll be people from Latin America, from Europe, from Africa, from Asia. So it's got a lot of geographic, sort of distribution in terms of youth from different parts of the world. And I think that your messages and examples are hugely inspiring. So, and I think that this is exactly what people need to hear. So this has been terrific, and I can't thank you. And whatever you drink, and you may think that your message may or may not be powerful, let me assure you, it's absolutely fantastic. Erik, I can't thank you enough, my friend.
Okay, thanks so much, Archie.
Thank
This
you.
is great, and I'm looking forward to the report from the festival also. I'm
Absolutely.
sure
I look forward to sharing that, Erik. You get a good night's rest, my friend, and a big hug. And I look forward to keeping you posted, and also checking on how you're doing as you travel around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good evening.
Have a good night's rest.